Hello, Facebook, YouTube. The day of Gabriel, the Archangel. God is our strength. Nope, not. Manna, he's a false god. We can know acknowledging false gods on God's days. But topic of the message. It's 4th of July. Just want to wish my grandfather that passed away, a happy birthday. Yes, he passed away, but he's still my awesome grandfather I had. Amos Thomas. It's wonderful, wonderful guy. But I want to talk about something interesting about, 4th of July. I don't know how to topic this message, but here's the thing that I don't, I want to wish everybody happy 4th of July, but, the thing is, I was talking to somebody at the laundromat, and I was telling them we were talking about the idea of how this America was built, you know what I'm saying? We're celebrating this country, and that it's continuing becoming a great country. But the foundation of this country wasn't all that, a beautiful story, as much as they want to make it that way. But it wasn't a beautiful story. And the thing is, concerning a lot of races, like Indians and blacks, and was not a good thing for them, that don't really get talked about probably too much about the establishment of this country, that they have been mistreated concerning the development of this country. And the thing is, it's just an ugly thing, concerning this country, that people don't like to talk about the ugly. I see. They like to just magnify the good parts of what America is all about, but they don't want to talk about the ugly, And the thing is, it's sad how. And now watch this. When you don't talk about ugly, I learned is you're willing to tolerate ugliness to be around. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing I'm learning about. Because, it's easy to be ignorant. Let me say that again. It's easy to be ignorant about something. To ignore something is very easy to do. And you can develop the empowerment to do something, to ignore something. That I noticed that people try to, or as you can see, people are, unfortunately in this world we live in, people are professional ignorers. You know what I'm saying? They're perfect. They're perfect at it. They know how to perform ignorance. Easy. All they got to do is look over here when you're supposed to be looking over there. Look over here when you're supposed to be looking over there. Just that simple, But the thing is, I learned when you become a professional ignorer that the things that you are ignoring are things that exist. You know what I'm saying? It exists no matter how much you want to ignore it. And if it's not dealt with correctly, and it's not dealt right with it, let me see here. It's not going to get right. And if it's not going to get right, that means that bad things will persist, or bad things will develop because of a lack of a person did ignore it and did not attend to what needs to be attended to. That I see that is going on a lot of places and going on everywhere, and people just not realizing that how much ignorance is of this country, and it's the condition that it is, and all the bad things that are happening into it and continually happening. People just need to understand that it didn't come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Wrong things didn't come out of nowhere. No, you wasn't paying attention to what was going on around you, and you more likely did not care less about what's going on around you. And that's what happened to
Wait, no, you're not Chris. I thought you were Chris for a minute. Don't put touch me.
you ignore what was going on happening, and everybody's like, why these bad things happening? Why this person doing this? Why this person, why, how why this, why? But when people say that, I hear echo in their heart, why I'm ignorant enough to ignore what's going on around me, and how come I want to be more ignorant to not really address the things that are going on around me. You know what I'm saying? Is what echoes in people's heart that are like that are not going to address what's wrong, as like what's going on in this country, about what's going to happen. But the thing is, here's what happens when you ignore something, and ignore bad things that are happening. What happens is that things get horribly done wrong. You know what I'm saying? It affects you. You know what I'm saying? It gets to you. Like, if there's a lot of killing in your neighborhood, guess who might get killed? It's not a bad things. People getting hooked on drugs or whatever. Guess what it can happen to next? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the fire. The fire is when you strike the fire burns up everything else and burns up everything. If I ignore a fire burning up cities, burning up places, guess what house it can burn up because the fire is not put out? It can burn up your house. You know what I'm saying? That's what the ideal of we need to see. The ideal of problems. Problems are like a fire. And if we don't put the fire out while it's, small, it can cause damage everywhere that people are not caring about in this country, in America, that people are not talking about the concerns that are going around and about everywhere else. But everybody wants to, when it's time to celebrate something, we like, oh yeah, let's go celebrate. But we don't address the problems that are really going on. I mean, how many civilizations probably did that? Wonder if Mesopotamia did the same thing in Egypt, and Rome lasted for 700 years. Greece, did they, capitalize on all the good things going on and have ignored the bad things that are happening, and all of a sudden the fire comes, and what happens? It burns up the civilization, literally. But the thing is, what you need to understand that, look, this country, United States of America, are positioned for that same ideal. They ignoring all the negative things that are going on around it, and negative things continue, and a fire is out there. Y'all don't see to the extent that it's damaging a lot of people. But when the fire consumes and everything is gone, smoke there, you don't be the person that says, why did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Be the person that says, why, but I was not aware, or why was I so ignorant to ignore what was going on around me, is what you need to understand about that. But that's the message. But I hope you understand what I'm saying, that I might change this topic of this message, but you get the logistics of it, about, something about ignorance. That's the message God be going here from whenever she's in.